Business Brain, episode 754 for Wednesday, May 20th. Be a Millionaire Day 2026.
Welcome back.
Woo, welcome back.
Gotta love that.
I agree.
I think I like to think like that every day.
There's no reason not to.
Yeah, once a year? Come on, that's ridiculous.
No, every day.
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah, at least once a week when you listen to us.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I hope you feel like it.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take some ideas, we crunch them, we dissect them, we use them so that we can each keep tuning our business brains and be a millionaire every single week. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Our sponsors that will help you along that path are whatnot.com/sell, where you can download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. And then Bitdefender.com/brain, where you can actually, you just download the app for Whatnot. Sorry, you don't have to, there's nothing else to do. You just go download the app, search for Whatnot in the App Store, and that's where you're going to be able to get free shipping on your first order. And then Bitdefender.com/brain, where you can save 30% on Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security. We'll talk more about those in depth in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
Hey, up here in Northern California, I'm Shannon Jean. I was up in the mountains this weekend, man. It's so good to get away from the screens and be amongst the campfires and do some painting, some work on the deck, and get away. I felt like a millionaire. And, you know, that stuff is I love, don't get me wrong, I love the online business world and everything else, but it's so nice just to get away. I think it's great. And
you got back not just to all of your screens, but to all of your wind chimes, too.
You hear them out
really,
there. It's because I cannot tell you how windy it is out here today. It's finally dying down, but it has been like all night. There's like 50,000 people around our area with no power because PG&E shuts down the power because once they got held liable for the fires when trees started falling on the stuff, they said, okay, we're just going to turn off the power when the fire or when the wind
watch us
comes.
that problem. That's right.
It's simple. It's simple. So that's why you hear a little of that, but it's kind of nice in the background. Hopefully help you relax on this May 20th.
I turned on the Waves NS1 plugin to hopefully make it go away because it's not there consistently. You know, it only is there when you talk, so you don't get the context of it. To have it there in the background would actually be great. The way we process the audio, that would not work.
I see.
I love that kind of stuff. I am, and I need to be very careful about how I say this because the self-talk let me get away with being a bad manager for a very long time. I used to say I'm a bad manager, but turns out I'm a good leader. And those were two, that was a true statement. Those were two true things. But saying that allowed me, it became an excuse. It was like, well, I know that I'm a bad manager. I'm acknowledging it. And therefore I don't have to work on changing it. And that maybe isn't the best thing. So, I am a bad manager. I am working on becoming a better manager. And one of the things that I wound up, with one of the projects we have, I wound up taking over a team, our customer support team, back in December. And I've talked a little bit about that here. And so it means managing people. And there are people that are talking to our customers. And of course, customer service is near and dear to my heart. Which makes managing the people that are doing the customer service tough for me and for them because I have very, very strong opinions about how every business is in the customer service business and the right way to do it and the wrong way to do it. And we were doing it the wrong way. There is no question. Everybody on the team understands we were doing it the wrong way. We had adopted over time a customer hostile approach to a lot of things, and it was time to fix that. And we were able to fix a lot of it right away.
That's right.
But there are still some habitual things in the process. This is an 8-year-old business. You know, there are patterns and habits that need to be changed. And it's great. Like, there's a conversation happening. Everybody's really on board. I am shocked, and I can say this now, I am shocked that we did not have to part ways with any of our customer service people. I'm pleased
they were able
that
to
we
readjust and
exactly
and reset. That's wonderful.
I didn't know. It's like, are they too set in their ways to do this job differently and to pivot and to do all the things we need to do? And no, the answer was no. They were not too set in their ways. They're very happy to be pivoting and learning and having better interactions with customers. Like it's
they should enjoy it more, right?
Way more. And our reviews are going up and all these things. So it's great. But we still have these things where it's like, oh, yep. Like, so you're still saying that, like, you say you understand how to be that like we need to prioritize empathy. And, the lead with empathy is how I
exactly.
But like what that actually means in practice isn't always entirely clear. And I had a thing last week where it was like, we need to fix this. And thankfully, like they came up with this idea. I gave them like, well, don't say that. Say this, be more empathetic. Be careful not to tell the customer that they were wrong. Help the customer be right the next time. Right? Like because
that's a big that's very important.
Yes.
Frame that to your customer, right?
Right. And it's a
difficult sometimes.
It's a very different thing. Yeah. But that whole idea of reassurance rather than correction, right? It changes the entire thing. And the problem is it's hard to notice that when you've been doing it one way for so long, right? And so it was like we had a conversation about it. I was like, okay, this is great, like fine. And then they asked me, they're like, okay, well, I have other things that are going to come up like this. Do you want to tell me what to say, or do you want me to propose what I think the right answer would be, and we can effectively workshop it? It's like, I want the latter. And it made me, in the moment, realize the value, and I freaking hate that this is how we humans are. But I've spent my entire career avoiding having to get buy-in and consensus on things because it's such a waste of time, in my opinion. I know that it's not.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
It's not. But I feel like it's like, nope, this is the way to do it.
Yeah,
this is the right way to do it.
Yes.
And why do I need your consensus? We'll just do it. Of course it's right.
I totally agree with you.
I know.
And I think there's lots of business owners listening and managers listening that would be like, oh, yeah, we know how to do it. But to do it right, you have to have that buy-in. They have to feel like,
Otherwise, you're going to micromanage them all the time, and it's never going to get there.
No, you don't want robots. You don't want them just, I got to read the sentence that Dave said.
Right.
Because they need to react to every unique situation and be able to, think on the fly and come up with solutions that,
And they're all very smart. It's not an intelligence thing. It's just getting them to understand the way I need them to understand. Not do the way I need you to do, but to understand the way I need you to understand, so that the byproduct of that is that you will do things the way that we need you to do them. But it's the understanding. And to get understanding, you have to have buy-in and consensus. And one way to get that is asking them to draft the things and leaning in when it's the right way and reassuring, not correcting when it's the wrong way. It's like that whole thing.
That buy-in is super powerful. I mean, I use it for setting KPIs, right? For bonuses and benchmarks that people need to meet. And I just flip it to them. I say, okay, you set your KPIs and then let's talk about it. And then, so it's just another level of ownership, right? It's you do have to workshop the KPIs because you're like, well, come on, you can get that done tomorrow, or that's way too, you're not going to get that done this month. It's too much or whatever, this quarter. But if it foundationally starts with them, or at least if they have that input,
It's a conversation. It's so much. It's so
just
much
more
better.
powerful.
Yeah,
it is, and I understand your frustration. You're right.
Yeah, it's like I know what you need. I don't. I also like. There's a whole other conversation to have, which we will have. I just don't want to derail us. But yes, I have been learning, like the last 6 to 8 months, I've learned so much about the value of buy-in and consensus, and it's something I actively avoided for my entire career because I just thought, well, why do we need? I don't need consensus. This is the right way. It's the right way.
The bigger your teams get, I think even the more disconnected and the more autonomy that they have, the more important it really is. And it's that ground up leadership, maybe thinking about it and trying to come up. But it is difficult because, like you, I'm just like, I know the right way. I know how to do this customer service. I know what to tell them. But you're not going to be there looking over their shoulder the whole time.
And I don't want to be. And they don't want me to be.
Correct.
Like all of the it really.
But without buy-in, that's what it turns into, right?
It has to turn into that. That's right.
Exactly.
Because then now I'm not trusting them. Right? Like that's
and you
if I
can
don't
make
have
templates. You can make templates and you can do different things, but that only gets you so far before they have to start thinking for themselves, right?
Correct. So, and that's where we are. We updated all the templates. We did all those things initially, and that made a huge difference. But now it's like, oh, I see. The why behind that wasn't entirely clear. So we need to keep working on it, which is fine. It's fine. Yeah.
One real quick example. My general manager would always ask the customer service people, he would say, well, what would Shannon do? Because he's going to come in and just be like, make it right. You know what I mean? So they had these little sticky notes on their desks. What would Shannon do? Because they know I'm going to come in and go, oh, how do we make it right for this guy? Send it out overnight or do whatever. Right. What's it going to cost? And you don't want him. What you want to avoid is if they have to escalate it, you doing something different. You don't want that because I don't want to do customer service, right? And that's not my job. So if you phrase it, what would Dave do?
Yes. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Love that.
Because then they can get in your head a little bit, think about your thought process. You want happy customers, clients, buyers. You obviously don't want to be taken advantage of. You want to lead with empathy. You want people leaving knowing that it's a win-win. You want to get on the same side of the table with your customer. That's what Dave wants. That's what Dave wants.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that worked.
Right.
Pretty good.
Oh, I like that. That's a great idea. All right. We have other things to talk about, I'm sure. And the next one on that list is our sponsors. We all know that the charmed life favors those who move quickly. And right now, live shopping on our sponsor, Whatnot, is exploding. The number of sellers making over $1 million a year on Whatnot has doubled in the past year. And that is perfect because Wednesday of this week is Be a Millionaire Day. So you got to get started here. I have checked out Whatnot as a buyer, Shannon. I was on there and I found somebody that was doing a warehouse sale. I understand why you have done what you have done for your career. This is like super exciting. All the deals, like it's great stuff, man. Like so cool. Whatnot is the largest live shopping marketplace in the country. Beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies. And sellers there make 10 times more than on other major marketplaces. Why? Buyers spend over an hour a day in the app building real connections with real sellers. I totally get it. It's live, it's engaging, it's great. I really, you got to check this out. Download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. Go check it out. I think you're going to love it. I'm certainly amazed by this, and our thanks to Whatnot for sponsoring this episode. And as we all know, the charmed life of an entrepreneur is built one client, one contract, one late night at a time. And a single ransomware hit can erase years of that work in an afternoon. And that's why our sponsor, Bitdefender, stands out. Bitdefender is a global leader in cybersecurity, and their ultimate small business security is purpose-built for teams of 25 or fewer. I know, just like all of us, right? That don't have an IT department on speed dial, or maybe you are the IT department and you really don't want to have to do it all. With Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security, you're going to get AI-powered scam protection trained on the kinds of phishing emails and fake file sharing links actually targeting small businesses. Plus, business reputation monitoring, password management, unlimited VPN, and one clean dashboard to run it all. Keep your small business safe with Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security and save 30% when you go to bitdefender.com/brain. That's bitdefender.com/brain for 30% off. Go check it out. I think you're going to like it. I'm really digging what I'm seeing there. And our thanks to Bitdefender for sponsoring this episode. All right, Shannon, what do you have on your list today?
So I like wine. You like wine. People like to drink wine.
Plus, you live in California, Northern California even.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about wine. I know more about beer than wine. I'm a beer guy, but my wife knows a lot about wine.
Sure.
So everybody wants a good deal. And I came across this company. It's called lastbottlewines.com. And this company they're like, think of like Woot. You remember Woot had like one deal a day?
Yeah.
Last Bottle does one bottle a day, one particular item. And what they've positioned themselves as, 'cause they're in the liquidation business, no doubt about it.
Sure.
But sometimes the liquidation business has this, the brands are paranoid and suppliers are paranoid about negative connotation, like why is it left over? Why didn't this sell? This kind of thing. And so these guys have taken it and flipped it upside down and made it like scarcity. They've introduced scarcity into this model where you can only buy it today. If you buy because they kind of do this thing. If once you sign up, you can get little bundles and they offer free shipping and stuff. They sell it at like 30 to 70% off of what it would cost. They focus on smaller wineries that have a harder time getting out into big stores.
Sure.
And these guys they're winemakers. They started it because their own winery had all this excess inventory. And they had to solve a problem for themselves. So the thing about it is, what I love about this concept is protecting your brand, introducing scarcity. It gets people talking, and they're really good at storytelling. So they bring this scarcity and storytelling together. And I was thinking about it the other day because my wife kept showing me these like pretty wild, excellent deals. And how can you introduce this concept of, well, we have extra stuff, we have extra text, we have extra whatever. Whatever. How do you flip that idea of like, how do we dump this stuff to, look, this is the only chance to get it. And these guys, they didn't position themselves as
brilliant.
A clearance outlet.
It's scarcity for overstock items. I mean, it's the exact thing that this is not. Right. Or at least maybe it is now. Maybe it is scarce now.
Yes.
But it was not scarce. And that's why it's here. But now it is scarce. And you have a day to get it. And FOMO, all those things.
And then people share online because they're like,
that.
look, I got this $200 bottle of wine for $39.
Yeah.
And they're like, how'd you get that? And it's also, they're not focusing on some mainstream wineries that everybody would know. These are little niche that people can sound a little exclusive. Well, I got access to this little fancy bottle. Wine people are snobs. And so they love to share, like, I found this winery in Napa and this, that, and the other. So they do lots of Napa Valley stuff, which is near us. They do some European stuff, but go check it out. Lastbottlewines.com, and think about how you can apply that to your own business. I love the concept.
I love it. All right.
And there'll be a business blueprint.
There will be a business blueprint. Yeah. So we have to decide what our highlight is here, Shannon.
The big takeaway.
The big takeaway. I think to me the big takeaway is obvious. It is when managing people and empowering people, teaching them to before they actually ask you anything, ask, what would Shannon do?
What would the
boss do?
What would the boss do?
Yeah. What would the boss do?
And that could be in your customer. I agree with you. First and foremost, that is the big takeaway. Teaching your people, your team, to think like, what would the owner do, the boss do? Because that, as we went over, you just want to simplify and cut to the chase. And just
I love it. No, it's so brilliant. It's like that. That's it. And we've probably all used it, right? But not like now. We'll use it with intention. So
yeah,
I love it.
Ask yourself, what would Dave do?
Thanks for hanging out, folks, and make sure to review the show. And we'll see you on Friday. Businessbrain.show/review. See you Friday.
See ya.